What is going on, guys? Heart Pirates TCG here, and I am just recording the match that I had. This is the second to last round. Both of us are 2-0 at this point. It's a 4-round tournament. This is at the one of the first anniversary events. It's a constructed event, and yeah, I'm playing against Whitebeard. For those of you guys who can't tell, it's a custom art. Or a custom leader. So I'm playing Sakazuki on the right. Obviously, you can tell with the hand tattoos. I'm playing against my friend Dylan, who is playing Whitebeard, which is somehow not dead still, just like I said it wouldn't be. And people are like, well, it's not a problem in Japan. Well, it kind of is a problem here, and I'll explain why towards the end of the video. But real quick, guys, we are having a tournament on the 23rd. Like I said in my previous videos, you guys want to join, feel free to go ahead and join our Discord below and go to the tournament events or event details tab, whichever one it is. I can't remember, for all the info on that. But anyway, to the game. All right, so we sped this up a little bit. He plays a Ezo and searches for an ace, from what it seems like. And if I remember correctly, and then he passes. Oh, there it is right there. I was getting too ahead of myself. So he searches for an ace, and then he passes after he takes his life right here. I'm at 2 Dawn myself, so of course what I do is I cycle. I put the dice on my Sakazuki, so I just remember, you know, that I already used its effect, because sometimes the turns can be really long. I use brand new to search for a Blazehound. Blazehound, guys, for those of you guys who don't know, searches the top 3, or I'm sorry, Blazehound bottom decks at 2 costs and gives something, either your leader or character, plus 3,000 for the turn. So he's gonna swing 6 at life here, and I'm gonna go ahead and take it because I have no 2Ks, and I actually draw into a 2K there, which is just great. It's just fine and dandy, right? I give him a brand new because I think I have multiple brand news in my hand when he's taxed 5 with Ezo. That's pretty much the play that they do. They do a 6 and then they do a 5. So I attack 3 into the Ezo with my brand new. Not really too concerned about it. About getting value off the brand new with the Blazehound. It's not too important, especially we just don't want him to, especially because we have no 2Ks in hand. We don't want him to Makino the Ezo and then go super aggressive on a turn if he doesn't have like a turn 4 play or a 4 Dawn play. So I'm sorry, a 5 Dawn play. So I go ahead and cycle out Sakazuki's effect. I swing 5 at life just for fun, and then I play a Borsalino, and then I pass. I do that a lot whenever I play against Whitebeard or any 6K leader. If I'm lower than him and I'm not going to be able to put Dawn on my leader, I'll just swing at him, just see if they counter. I think it's pretty funny, honestly. Sometimes they counter, sometimes they don't. Sometimes I let them take it back, sometimes I don't. It just depends. I don't know, it's pretty funny most of the time. Especially, like, there's one guy in my locals, I do it. I get him with it, like, probably once a week, bro. Like, I'll be like 5 at life, and he'll be like +1. I'll be like, bro, you are a 6K leader. I've said, like, it's every week, bro. I'm not gonna name any names, but it's pretty funny. So he's gonna go ahead and swing 6K. I discard the 2K that I got off the off my life, which is Tsuru, and then he's going to, I believe, play a Marco here if I remember correctly, which I'm very thankful for. I'm pretty sure this is a Marco right here, and then he's gonna go ahead and pop the brand new. So it's a good thing I swung with the brand new anyway. So it didn't really matter too much. So now I'm on my 6 Dawn turn, which is normally really good, especially in this deck. So I go ahead and tap 4, which is going to be a Rebecca play. Rebecca's going to go ahead and I got to remember exactly what's in my hand, but I'm pretty sure I get the Hina out of my trash. Yep, Hina, -4 cost to the Marco, and then I tap 2 for a Blazehound. And then you can see me get plus 3,000 my leader and swing 8 at his life, which I'm pretty sure he's just going to take. No reason not to. Yep, he's just going to go ahead and take that right there. And I'm going to go ahead and pass my turn. So I'm in actually a pretty good spot. You know, I got my Hina, I got my Rebecca out. So 2 blockers, even though I don't have a whole lot of 2Ks or any counters in hand, I'm going to hopefully try to find them. And, you know, just kind of try to grind him out of the game. Sakazuki isn't really a deck that puts a lot of pressure on you. So, you know, a deck like Whitebeard, they can have 10, 12, 13 cards in hand. You know, but nothing on board, and you just gotta kind of have to keep taking away cards out of their hands slowly. And normally you could do that. You know, if you recycle off Mancheri and Rebecca, you're usually able to do it. You'll have like 3 swings at like 7 or 8K that you can just start taking cards out of their hand multiple. Problem is they have 4 rad beams now, so it's just a little bit harder to do that. Real quick, guys, I'm going to speed this up just a little bit because the plays were taking a little bit longer than I remembered. All right, so now this is at 1.38 speed instead of 1.2 speed, so that should help with the time in between. But yeah, guys, I was not very excited for this set, but after playing Sakazuki for a whole day, like in person, it just felt so fun and so good. He goes ahead and swings 6 at life here, and then I go ahead and block with I block with my Rebecca here, if I remember correctly. I say out loud. I guess I don't. Never mind. Disregard that, guys. I take the life here, and then he goes ahead and plays a what is it called? He goes ahead and grabs a Luffy, and then he's gonna, I believe, play the Luffy, if I remember correctly. I don't remember what he plays here. But guys, I don't have a lot of cards in my hand. He plays a Sanji. He plays one rush character. God, the new face build is just the most annoying thing ever. I go ahead and block this 6K here with my Rebecca, and I said out loud that I want to block just to play around like the Marco in the future. But truthfully, I wanted to block because I literally had no counters in hand. This whole game was just a counterless fiasco, bro. You could see me just keep trashing non-counters out of my hand, and I just keep drawing into the same ones. I trash a Borsalino, I draw into a Borsalino. I trash a Hina, I draw into a Lucci. I mean, it's just ridiculous. And he has 12 cards in hand right now. It is just a whole book that I don't want to read. So I go ahead and use my Great Eruption to -2 costs to the Sanji, and then I draw a card and then -2 costs to the Sanji, of course. And I have a few different options here. I consider just letting the Sanji live and like trying to like kind of like build my board a little bit. But because I literally have, I'm telling you guys, like 0k or 1k worth of counter in hand, I just couldn't let the Sanji live, because especially if he goes Ace next turn or Luffy next turn, like I think I might take 2 life and then I just automatically lose because, you know, they might have a Luffy, or like I'm pretty sure some Whitebeards are playing Diable Jumbo. And then I go ahead and just play Borsalino, and then I pass. And I'm not in a horrible position here. He's in a bad position. On paper, he's in a bad position. Like, I have 5 cards in hand and 3 characters on board, and 2 life. Like, and one of them's a blocker too. So technically, he is in a bad position. But because I have such little counter in hand, he's actually just like gonna win this game. And I guess I'll spoil it now. I lose this game, and you'll see how I lose this game. It is actually just the craziest, unlikely scenario possible. If I win this game, I was going to play a Rosinante in the finals, which I think I would have beat because I can just bottom deck their stuff. I don't really KO stuff. If they have a, what's it called out? A Rosinante character, I'll just, Borsalino or Blazehound, so I just wouldn't Lucci and play around that. So I was feeling pretty confident that I was even good. I was feeling like I was gonna win this game too. Like if I was like, I don't have any counters now, but I have 2 chances per turn to draw into counters. With my leader effect and my draw, and then if I take life, which I don't really want to do. So I was feeling pretty confident. I was like, if I can just get past these like the sea of dead cards in hand, I think I can do a decent job. So he's thinking it out for a little bit. Again, Whitebeard right now, like, they don't play like regular Whitebeard. They kind of play like Zoro does. Like, they just try to play as many rush characters as possible and pressure down your life before you can like get in lethal range, because they just don't play as many counters as they used to. So it went from like a stall, like a mid-range aggro deck, to like a pure like aggro deck that has like a little bit of survivability later on. And of course, the ones that are playing the new gates, which I'm pretty sure everyone's playing at least one, right? The people that are playing the new gates are gonna go ahead and sorry guys. Okay, real quick here. He swings 5 at my life, and I consider blocking this with the Borsalino. But if he plays a Luffy here, I'm gonna take 2 hits. So I couldn't do that, so I have to counter out with this Rebecca here, which really sucks because this is, I remember specifically, this is the last counter in my hand, was this damn Rebecca that I didn't want to trash. I considered just blocking with the Borsalino, but because I blocked, he swings 6. I go ahead and take this, and then he just goes ahead and he plays a Marco right here, or I'm sorry, yeah, a 4-cost blocker Marco. He's gonna think for a second. But yeah, he plays a blocker Marco here, and I wish I didn't counter with the Rebecca. Obviously, I didn't know he was going to play the Marco because I saw him search for an Ace and a Luffy. Of course, the Ace here he didn't have access to, but he had access to 7-cost Luffy. And if he played that, I might go down to 0 life, and I just can't risk that. So I had to counter out with the Rebecca. I dumped a Lucci trying to find another counter, didn't find another counter. My hand was just full of bricks here, guys. And I'm gonna actually talk my playthrough real quick and then skip it, because I thought for like, I'm telling you, like 5 minutes towards the end of this game. But I have a Lucci, a Kaido, a 10-cost Kaido, the draw one, a Borsalino, and like I think like a Blaze Hound in my hand, and that's it. Right? I already used my leader effect. I don't have any other draws. I have nothing else in my hand. I was like, I debated, do I go for the Kaido play and draw 4 and just hope I draw into counters, or do I just try to go into like Lucci? Do I try to go into Blaze Hound? Like, what do I do here? And I thought about it for a second, and then I'm gonna skip it. I'm gonna skip forward a little bit, and then we'll talk about why I did it. So what I decided to do here is I decided to just clear the board and just pray that I have a 2K in life, because I 3,000 Worlds to Marco, and then I swing into his Zoro, I believe, with my leader. I'm kind of like mathing. I'm like dotting out my cards right now. I was considering playing Lucci here, because I swung 5 into his Zoro. And he just lets it go. Like, he thinks for a second and just lets it go. And because you can see he puts the dice on the Zoro now. He's a 2-cost. So I was just gonna Lucci here, and then I was gonna Blaze Hound, or I think I was just gonna Blaze Hound and like swing for 11, just to get like a Rad Beam and a 2K out, or a guard point, a 2K and a 1K. That's what I was gonna do. But he decides to let the Zoro go. So when he lets the Zoro go, what I decided to do is just go aggressive. And if you think about it, guys, I have 1 life, 4 cards in hand, and a blocker. So the only way he can beat me is if he goes like Zoro, Luffy. That's all he could have. All right, I bottom deck the Nami right here. I use Blaze Hound to bottom deck Nami, give my Hina +3, and I have 4 Dawn extra, so I have 2 8K swings right now, and then obviously I'm going to go 2 10s right there, and then I have 4 cards in hand. He doesn't know what I have. I swing, 10 at life with the Hina, and obviously he's baiting the Rad Beam here, because he starts countering out with stuff that's like not actually events. So as soon as he countered out with those 3 cards right there, I knew he didn't have a Rad Beam. So he goes 2K, 2K, I believe 1K? 2K, 2K, 1K, yep. So I'm like, okay, he doesn't have Rad Beam, that's fine. I'm still going to go 10 at life anyway, because I don't have any other plays. And I was like, do I just kill him here? You know, because, I mean, he literally had 11 cards in hand, but 2 of them were dead. It was the Luffy and the Ace, so he only had 9 cards in hand. So I was like, what are the odds, right? So he goes 2K, 1K, 1K, 1K. And I was like, damn, if I had just a little bit more Dawn, I think I could have actually killed him. So he has no cards on board, and I have 4 cards in hand, 1 life, and 1 blocker. I'm like, if my life is a 2K, I literally win this game, right? There's no way I don't win this game, because if he swings like 7 with Whitebeard, I just block with Borsalino. That way I don't get killed by Rush Luffy. And then he plays Rush Luffy, right? Which would be, what is it called? That would be how much Dawn? Rush Luffy is 5, and then 1 Dawn. So yeah, a 2K wins me this game pretty much. So he goes 6 at life, and because I have literally no counters in hand, I block with the Borsalino, which just feels horrible. And then he goes, okay, play Rush Luffy, 6 at life. And I take it, and I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? He plays a Rush Luffy and goes 6 at life, and I'm like, dude, my hand was bricked the fudge up, bro. I was so devastated. I kept looking at my cards, and I was like, how is this not? And I look at my hand, and I should have just gone for the Kaido play here, guys. I should have just gone for the Kaido play. Of course, I was leaving it up to chance, which I didn't want to do. But yeah, guys, sometimes it's how the cookie crumbles when you play against Whitebeard. Whitebeard ended up winning our first locals of set 5, which feels great, right? You know, keep red unrestricted. You know, it's just very healthy for the game. Anyway, guys, I'll see you guys on my next video, and peace out.